What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. Hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Wormed, entitled Krighsu. This is released on Season of Mist. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Madrid, Spain, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very technical, brutal, science fiction-themed style of death metal. Yeah. Not many bands today in brutal death metal that can do the whole mixture and blending of brutal death metal and extraterrestrial science fiction sort of themes. But one band that does this style so perfectly, in my opinion, is Wormed. And they have shown why they are so good at what they do. I mean, very unique way for this band to get started out. I mean, their 2003 debut, Planispherium, had a very certain rawness going for it. From a production standpoint, to the riffs, to the ultra guttural vocals, it was a really standout release. Very awesome to listen to, and pretty catchy at times too. Almost pretty much a fun record all the way through. But later on in the 2000s, we got a newer evolution of this band in the form of their 2010 EP Quasi-Neutrality and their 2013 follow-up album Exodromos. Very interesting time gap between the first album and the second one. But Exodromos really showed how far this band had come along from a musical and grown-up sort of standpoint. Better music, better vocals, better delivery and execution. Just a great album. Exodromos is a far superior record, and it goes without saying, the country of Spain has a really awesome brutal death metal world going on there. Not just with Wormed, but with bands like Cerebral Effusion, Carnivorous Veracity, to even Virulency, who just put out a great album through New Standard Elite. I would definitely give them a shot. Give Virulency a shot. They're really awesome. But going back to Wormed, it's a good thing we didn't have to wait a really long time for a new album, because here we are with their third full-length entitled Krighsu. It's 10 tracks, and it clocks in at around 34 minutes in length, and I love the package that Wormed put with every record they do. Pretty much an all-killer, no-filler sort of approach. Very reasonable album length. It doesn't have to go on too long or too short. It just feels right when you compile everything into one package for a band like Wormed. But it seems as though they took what they had on Exodromos and made things even better. I think they made this style that they did even better and more stronger. And once you hear the opening riffs of Pseudo Horizon and go on throughout this entire record, you'll realize what kind of a brutal death metal band Wormed are. I think this is such a marvelous step up from Exodromos, and it just shows you why Wormed are one of the very best, and in a league of their own, I would say. Musically, you can't beat anything like this. This is just so amazing. Such amazing guitar tone and sound going on throughout this record. I mean, songs like Agliption, Codex, Cyborgization, Eukaryotic Hex Swarm, just some amazing guitar riffs going on here. Very technical, very modernized, but yet they make it work. It sounds awesome, but it also sounds brutal too, and they make that brutal sound work out very well. Going back to the track Neuromorph Mindkind, I want to say on the second half of that track, there's this really nasty sort of riff going on in that track that I don't want to say it's a slam riff, because I think Wormed are a higher league band than that. But that's what it feels like when you listen to that track, Neuromorph Mindkind. You want to get in the pit and just go crazy to something like that. That's the type of feeling you get when you hear that song. Very moshable riffs going on throughout this entire record, but I think it's awesome. The riffs are incredible. A lot of frenetic pace work going on here with these guitars. Going further on to the record, like Computronium, Pulsar, Nanarchy. Some great guitar work going on that song too. The bass work is great too, very smooth, just like the guitar work, very technical, very audible and clear in the mix, but yet it gets the job done here, and really it stands out on its own when it needs to, but really this is more of the showcase for the riff work to be presented on Krighsu. It's just sensational. The drumming is just plain nuts. Everything you heard on Exodromos gets boosted up a notch big time here on this album. Relentless blast beats, incredible drum fills, lots of great patterns and technicality going on with the drum performance. It's really awesome. It really doesn't let up or hold up. I wouldn't say there's a moment where the drums become slower or slow down or anything like that. I think the drumming just handles itself right. It doesn't really feel show-offish. Like the guitar and bass work, it has that contemporary modern vibe going for it, but I think it works out perfectly. I really love the way this drum performance sounds. It's just awesome to listen to. And when it comes to the vocals, Phlegton really is one of the more distinguishable vocalists in today's brutal death metal landscape. He has a very recognizable sound, delivery, vocal performance, very low guttural growls, high-end screeching sort of gutturals. It's a very unique vocal performance, and I think only a guy like Phlegton could make it happen. And here on Krighsu, he does some phenomenal things with his vocals here. Like I said, it's mainly a mixture of the high gutturals, the low to mid-range gutturals, just the growls that he does. It's just awesome to listen to, and he pulls that vocal style off justice with every single track that's on here, even the more interesting spoken word sort of parts in some of the interlude moments of this record. It really sounds awesome. And from a lyrical standpoint, it's very smart. I really like the lyrical content that Worm bring into their music. It adds a bit of depth and substance to their style. Of course, many folks would be interested in the music, but considering this band has some very outer-worldly themes, I think them including the smart lyrics into their sound make things all the more interesting. And I love that about Worm's delivery when it comes to the songwriting and the lyric writing. It's just smart, intelligent, taut stuff. Like a sci-fi movie that you're watching in a theater. A good sci-fi thriller with lots of action and intensity all the way through. So, overall, probably the best damn thing I've heard Worm ever do. Really great production and songwriting going on here. Incredible vocal performance by Phlegton. Just an overall tight-knit package, and probably one of the better brutal death metal albums to come out this year. So if you're a fan of Wormed, I would definitely give this album your time and attention. It is some seriously brutal stuff, but it's also smart too. And I love that about brutal death metal releases like this. You can just go crazy, but yet it'll make you think as well. So if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Pseudo Horizon, Agliption Codex Cyborgization, Eukaryotic Hex Swarm, A-Life Omega Point, and Zeroth Energy Graviton. Yeah. Seriously incredible release. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will link you to the Worm Season of Mist Bandcamp page where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can buy it digitally, and it is also available in multiple physical formats. You can buy it on CD or 12-inch vinyl, and I will also link you to Worm's personal Bandcamp where you can purchase it directly through the band, and there are also options to pick up physical copies from the band if you want to get it directly through them, if you live overseas or whatever. So, again, the album is Krighsu by Worm. This is released on Season of Mist. Go support this. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very, very strong 8.5 out of 10. Endless replay value, endless insanity, sci-fi brutal death metal done right. So, if you happen to have heard this album, let me know what you think about it and how you feel about it and how you think it compares to previous Wormed releases. Or any of you guys into Wormed, definitely let me know how you feel about it. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Army Hell out.